Hey, Mike.
Glenn, how you doing, buddy? Guys, this is Glenn, Canada's most famous homeless man here on Mike of the Night. So good to have you on, buddy.
I'm a professional hobo. What can I say, man? I got hobo pride.
You're a good guy, Glenn, and we love you. Now, you want to talk about the FIFA flop down in Vancouver. What is going on?
Nothing. The only time that it was busy at all so far, it's been on for 2 weeks, was the Canada. Canada played what? Angola, some Senegal, some middle of Africa country or something.
Qatar, I think it was.
Oh, the rich guys. Yeah, well, they
Was it
they
Qatar?
blasted them
I can't
out.
remember, guys. I don't even remember. Okay, what happened?
Well, then there was people on the trains in the public spaces at the rapid bus. The I didn't go to any of the events on that day. That was just the first day
Mm-hmm.
that I actually seen people out in crowds. But you know what?
Mm.
It wasn't as busy as the normal BC Lions. If that was like a weekday, like a Friday or a Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a BC Lions game, there'd be your 30,000 people. That was it.
So
It
the World
wasn't
Cup's
like,
dead.
yeah, if it was a playoff, if it was BC Lions playoffs, it would have been busier. The whole city, it's like, but that was Canada playing, and everybody was hip, hip, hurrah, yay. And there were so many red jerseys,
Mm-hmm.
and they all, I don't know who number 19 Davis is, but there's some number 19 Davis or Davies or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's the hero. There's a clone. There's a clone. Some of them are women, some of them are men, but they're number 19 clones.
And the venues were dead.
Yeah, what I saw of what I've done is
Well, I'm
I've
saying
gone
for every
around.
other match in Vancouver that was going on there, it was dead.
Yes. Yeah, when
Non-Canada
I've
match.
gone around.
Yeah,
Yeah, on the weekends,
yeah.
Saturdays, in the middle of the day at noon, 2 o'clock, I've gone around. I've taken pictures at these places. There's people there, but it's nowhere near as much as the
Like
Olympics.
45, 50 people.
Yeah, like other places that there's like every time the bus lets out, there's I don't know, not even 30 or 45 people, but 25. And they get off the bus and they go across the street and they go every street corner. You know the one at Hastings and Renfrew?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, right by the P&E.
Right.
That's their main gate, gate number 1.
Yeah.
The rapid bus goes there, the special bus goes there. There's like one cop on each corner to direct traffic. But there's less people there than if it was the normal P&E.
So
If it
like,
was the P&E.
so like, if there's a regular PNE provincial, what does PNE stand for? National Exhibition or something?
Yeah, provincial national exhibit, I think.
Exhibition, yeah. So when there's a normal PNE day, there's more people there than there is for the World Cup, is what you're saying.
Yeah, P&E's not till, I don't know, July
Yeah, but
or
I
something.
understand what you're saying, but I'm saying
Yeah.
there's more people at the PNE on the rides and stuff than there is for the World Cup.
Yeah, at the end of July. See, I'm thinking it might be because it's still middle of June.
Hmm.
So that's the thing. The amusement park is open in June, but it's not now because of FIFA. So if it was just the amusement park and school was out like at the end of June, it's like it would be busier then. It's like give or take, on a weekday versus a weekend or what times the games are. I've got to trace down when the games are going up because, like I said, when the Canadian game went on, it's like as if all the fans from it's like a normal, I would say slower than a hockey game,
Hmm.
but about as busy as the BC line. But lots of BC there's lots of fans for the
Hmm.
BC. Everybody loves the BC Lions.
Yeah.
You know, they're the home team that doesn't disappoint.
Right, I
The
understand.
Canucks are,
So it's
yeah,
basically dwindled, right? It was like when I was there for the Olympics in 2010 in Vancouver. They gated everything off. They closed down everything. They moved all the bums out of town. And in 2010, and I remember that there was nobody at the games. It was just completely dead. My mall was dead. I was across the street from Rogers Arena, my mall. I was
yeah.
in the Tinseltown Mall, and it was dead. There was nobody in the mall. It was like dead. And
Yeah.
that was the slowest season I ever had in the history of my business being there for 13 years. The slowest season I think I've had was during the Olympics. Was the worst. The worst.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that. When I go to Main Street, when I go to Commercial Drive, if it was a normal World Cup, and let's say they were playing in Belize or Brazil or Singapore, there would be more people at the local bar.
Yeah.
It's the economy. The
Yeah.
economy is so bad. It's everything is like, I don't know. I want to say like 1/4 to 1/2 normal. It's like it's more than 50%. Sometimes people go out of town, but it's like school's not over yet. You know what I mean? If people have gone out of town for the summer, sometimes you see it gets dead. But you know what? I go around to all these work sites. There's nobody working there. They got
look. I don't know if you remember this, but I know you like my 15-year ago rants, right? But 15 years ago, you know what I was calling this, Glenn?
what goes down?
No. I was calling this a certain name on my videos. I got about 50, 60 videos with this. Skyscraper Dark Ages ahead.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Those are the empty buildings.
Yep, that's what I've been calling Vancouver and all these major cities in the West Coast, in Los Angeles and San Francisco, Vancouver or Portland and what was that? It was Seattle. Skyscraper Dark Ages. That's what I've been calling it for years, my brother, and now it's happening.
Oh, in the rural parts, it's even worse.
Yes,
I watch these videos. These real estate agents from Kelowna, they're saying that Kelowna has so many problems. They can't find anybody who's young, any young families that want to actually move in and grow up there. Mm-hmm. It's all old people who've come there to die, and the fast turnaround, and they can't. So nobody's just even going there. They don't want to move. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
It was like, what's the point? Well, if I sell here, I'm not even going to be able to move in there. I can sell here and I can buy in over there, but what happened to my retirement? How do I buy my medication? Oh, looks like we're going to have to stay here. They can't sell into a depressed market. Mm-hmm. There's all these buildings that it would be 85, 90% complete. They could complete it because it's the summer. They've got 2 or 3 months. If they had crews, 40, 80, 90 people, they could finish these buildings on these complex and these whole townhomes or these whole skyscraper projects. It's got the envelope on it. It's got the roof on it. Mm-hmm. It just needs, the rest. And they have
builders are running out of money. People are walking away from deposits, right?
There's like maybe between 2 and 12 people working on a site where there should be 40 or 100 people. There's 2 or 4 contractors guys there. They look like they're from the general contractor. Oh my gosh, is that a heron? Wow, that thing it is a heron. It's flying right underneath the bridge. We're just here in North Van. Mm-hmm. Pretty nice, pretty cool.
Right on. Any other observations you want to let us know? We got the real estate, we got the FIFA flop. What else?
I've seen the Eastern European hookers. It's imported. Wow. They've imported the prostitutes for FIFA.
Really?
They're like not doing anything. Yeah, because it's women who speak Eastern European.
Interesting.
They're like speaking, I don't know if it's Czech or Romanian or something. They don't know where they are. There's soccer like hooches that they have a jersey and they're there with their girlfriends and they're just looking for somebody to spend money or to mooch off of, right? To go and have a party. Well, their rate at the cafes, the patios, they're there with their girlfriend, younger women with jerseys that you wouldn't think of as soccer fans, right? Mm-hmm. Well, they're maybe the locals or stuff, but there's these other women who, if they're by the SkyTrain, they're sitting like way off to the bench that's like way away from people, and they're on their phones. And then they get a message, and then they go over to meet a car, but they're standing on the wrong corner, and then the guy's like beeping, like expensive car, beeping and waving from the other side. Like they don't know where they are. They're not here. They're touristas, but they're not here for the event. They're here for something else, and they're dressed like high-priced hookers, and they're in pairs. I've seen the phenomenon a couple of times in a couple of weird areas that you're like, hey, geez, what are these ladies up here? Because, I stop my bike and I sit down, get some water, roll a joint, have a smoke break before I get on the train, before you know what I mean? So I've just been like, oh, this is an odd thing. Let's, people watch. But there's a red helicopter. There's some sort of special helicopter that I've never seen around here. So I don't know if it's cameras or if it's flying dignitaries, or that FIFA president. Apparently he gets as much special cop protocols as like the Chinese consulate, or as like an actual consulate, a diplomat member.
Well, FIFA's a ruthless organization. It's just match fixing, organized inside betting. Remember, FIFA got raided in 2014 or 2015. I can't remember, but in 2014, 2015, the CIA raided FIFA, and it was all internal match fixing. It was all match fixing. FIFA chooses who wins the World Cup. You don't win you don't win the World Cup because you're a good team. The FIFA makes the choice who wins. It's always scripted, and we've been saying this for 15 years or 20 years. Well, I've been saying it for 30 years in my life. But I've been saying for 15 years online, and nobody cares.
On record.
Yeah, nobody cares. I've been trying to say this for years, and nobody cares. So
everywhere I go, I just see extra cops, extra security standing around. It's as if it was for Canucks playoff game, a BC Lions playoff game. Like I've seen it. I've been, when it's like, playoffs and stuff. And every time that the light changes, 60 or 100 people, and they need the police to, hey, stop going. We can't, no more people walk across the street, and they're directing the pedestrians as well as the traffic. They have the police as if there's that many people, but every time they cross the street, maybe if the bus just lets off, maybe 15 or 20 people will cross the street, but most of the time, it's like 2, 4, a couple groups of 3 or 4 go across the street. And some of them, you can tell, they don't have anything to do with the soccer. It's just some, old lady who lives down the street or something, and it's just some little old lady who's going by with her, cart from the groceries or something. And you're like, no, she's going the other way. Yeah, not going in the direction of the stadium. Most people are going in the direction of the stadium, and there's people there with their kids, but I just see all these cops just standing around. And then you look, and there's transit security. There's these Genesis security. There's these other privacy. And you're like, all I do is see security, like picking each other's noses or other orifices. And they're not even bothering people.
Yeah.
They could. They could at any moment, just like as if I haven't heard anything about soccer hooligans out west here. I only heard about the soccer hooligans in Toronto, but there's not enough people. It's not that the people are, it's just, there's not enough people. Even if somebody was all drunk and making a row, it'd be like, hey, who's that guy? What's he doing yelling over there? Let's go deal with this. Boom. It'd be dealt with in like under 3 or 4 minutes. There's nothing that's going to like get out of control that they need that many police there for, because they've just massive budgets. Everybody's just collecting overtime, or everybody's just collecting special wages. They're just spending for security people to have jobs, and I don't know if they're on 10 or 12-hour shifts, but they're just, you ask them, they don't speak English. You ask them about this. One guy comes over and starts talking to you, and everybody else is like a recent transplant from, you guessed it, Indo-Asia.
India, yeah.
For the security companies, I mean.
India, yeah, you could just say it's India, yeah.
Well, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, anywhere
and you got
around
Somalians too that work in, I know some Somalian guys that work in security too. Yeah. So there's a bit, it's a mix, right? But it's non-Canadians though.
Hell yeah. It's like people who, they have such a difficulty with ESL. You can't even ask them what day it is versus what day the next thing is happening. Oh, when is this? Oh, what time is this? They can't even, you couldn't even carry on a conversation about the weather with these people. They have and you're like, oh, really? It's nice that you have a job and you just showed up here, and wonderful. So those are the kind of people that are getting all kinds of extra wages. And anybody that, lives here and would actually be able to do a good job and talk to tourists and say, oh, well, this is this direction. Oh, and that's that direction over there. No, they're not getting no job for 22 or 24 bucks an hour.
It's really sad that you're homeless and you could help out and do work and actually get stuff done. And yeah,
Oh,
it's just.
hell no. I don't want anything to do with that. I know a friend. That's the guy. He went to, I was
Oh, I'm not
talking to
talking
him.
about
He went,
security. I'm talking about bigger ventures. I'm talking about. I'm not talking
oh,
about
yeah, I
security
can do
working.
much better stuff than that. No, my friend, he works sometimes for Playland. So he already had an in there, and then he applied for the FIFA, and then he already got hit in the head with a soccer ball, so he missed a shift, and it's like, so I don't know what he's doing, but somehow he shows up, and then somebody's going to mail him a check for like $156 something just to stand around, wear a goofy jacket, and direct people to parking at times.
Yeah. Okay.
Lots of cops, no actual problems. I haven't seen nobody's like getting ornery or out of line out here.
There's not a lot of
I'm
people.
thinking,
There's
that's
not a
what I
lot of people
mean.
for that.
No, that's what I mean. That it's a normal Canucks game, a normal season game would have as many, if not more, people in the downtown, in the bars, on the trains, coming after the game left, going out to Granville or Richards or Yaletown after the game's over to everybody's like families with their kids. It's like, okay, afternoon's over, time to go home now. And I think a whole bunch of businesses that were holding their breath, waiting for this FIFA to make their millions to make it through the summer, they're going to be like, okay, we're just going to close up this
Yep.
isn't
A
working
lot of
out.
places are going to close up. They can't compete. There's yeah. The same thing with the Olympics back in 2010 in Vancouver when I had my shop. The Olympics came. It was the biggest drought. I went through a 2.5 month drought during the Olympics in 2010. It was horrible. I think
Yeah.
yeah, there was days in the mall where half the stores in the mall were just closed. They didn't even open their stores. It was so bad.
Yeah. Well, why do it? Why pay somebody a wage at 18 or 20 bucks an hour to sit there and ring a cash register when the only thing coming in every hour is like $20 in sales? Like,
No, not even.
how can
There
you
were
even
like
do
8 days in a
the
row
overhead?
I didn't make a sale during the Olympics in 2010, and I was right across the street from the stadium where the Canucks play, right across where the venues were.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, nobody cares. Nobody knows. They're not the same touristas as get off the cruise ships and then want to go and buy a shirt in Gastown. That they want to buy a hat that has a Canadian flag or a grizzly bear or a beaver on it. Something like that. That's unique in Vancouver and also made in China. But the little old ladies on the cruise ships, every cruise ship, they say, docking in Vancouver, it drops however many millions directly. I bet you the cruise ships are more profitable than this soccer thing
mhm.
by like magnitudes of, the little old ladies that go and collect those silver spoons from all over the place. They would
Yeah,
actually spend money.
they have disposable income. They're the age bracket where they have the disposable income, and they have, their life's coming. It's coming to an end, and they know it, and they're enjoying it, and no one's gonna come and blow money in Vancouver or blow money in for a night in Vancouver. Nobody's staying $3,200 for 3 nights in Vancouver. Nobody's doing that. It's no. Empty city, empty shell, full of just full of homeless people everywhere. It doesn't add up. It's not worth it. It's not that glamour city of that it used to be back in the 80s. In the 80s, it was a great city, Vancouver, but now it's a joke, right?